Today, we're going to be talking about what I'm going to be grading with PSA when they get to $10 a card or less. So currently, PSA costs $15 per card at the bulk rate for people with a membership, and we most recently had a $14 special in February 2024. So for Australian collectors, it's currently about $30 Australian to get a card graded with PSA. So that's inclusive of your postage over, your postage back, and the actual grading fee for the card. Now, when PSA gets to $10 USD per card, this is going to look like something around $21 to $22 Australian, depending on where the exchange rate is at the time. So as a result, if you sent 29 cards in the submission now versus when it's at $10, you'll be saving over $200 on your PSA sub of 29 cards. That's like a seriously massive saving. An extra $200 in my pocket would be awesome as opposed to in PSAs. Just before I jump into the detail, I just did want to mention my discount codes of Palms Off Gaming and Cardboard Guardian. You can find that in the description of the video, or you can find that in my bio. So Brody, what are we sending when PSA gets to $10 a cut? I'm going to tell you. In short, we're going to be sending popular Pokemon, low value cards, good artwork. And so what do I mean by popular Pokemon? I mean your Charizards, your Venusaurs, your Blastoise, we're talking your Evolutions, your legendary Pokemon, your Mewtwo's, your Gengars, Dragonites, all the rest of them. So we're just going to be sending popular Pokemon, good artwork, and we're going to be looking for stuff that's like sub $5 Australian. We're looking for like the $1 cards, the cheap stuff that is going to be typically like holos, reverse holos, but really good artwork in popular Pokemon. So I'm going to flash some examples up on the screen of some that come to mind. So Mewtwo from Crown Zenith, just a holo, but a really cool Mewtwo artwork. Tyranitar from Pally Evolved, obviously not the full art one, but just the regular reverse or the holo. The Latios and the Steelix from Paradox Rift, they're both really nice cards. The Eevee all the way back to Evolving Skies. It actually, if you remember the card, it's got the Rayquaza in the background. The Magikarp from Scarlet and Violet base is like a really top tier Magikarp artwork in my opinion. The Gengar from Lost Origin, just another regular holo card, but a really cool artwork for Gengar. And Seviper, Scarlet and Violet, and Paldea Evolved. Like Seviper, obviously not a super popular Pokemon, but I think some of the artwork that's coming out in Scarlet and Violet for some of these Pokemon are really, really cool. And so you'll notice that a lot of those Pokemon I just mentioned are like your early gen Pokemon, but I think one that also stands out more recently is Lechonk. I think Lechonk's starting to get a bit of a fan base, and Lechonk has had quite a few artworks now, and I think they're like all top tier. Lechonk has definitely had some really good common cards. So why are we sending these cards at $10 USD or less? So there's probably two things to this, but the first thing is just reducing the risk to yourself of grading these cards. Like first the risk around getting PSA 9s and then being left with these very low, people are chasing 10, so they'll be like, oh, low value PSA 9, I don't want that. It's like $1 card, I don't need it. So I think you really need to ensure that you do know what you're doing when you're grading these types of cards, because it's kind of going to be hit and miss. If you don't hit a 10, you're going to probably lose money on this, but I think it can be worthwhile in the long run. And so besides the financial side of things, I think it's also a really good time, it will be a good time to send those cards. It's because there's people completing PSA 10 sets of sets, like Pokemon sets. We're going away, I think, at the same time from people collecting binders of Pokemon cards and trying to get the best tier of condition. Obviously, whether it be CGC, BGS, PSA, people trying to get the top level of grade. So I think more recently we're seeing examples in ZNG Emporium, their eBay page sold a heap of Celebrations holos in PSA 10 a couple of weeks ago, and I covered that on my Instagram page. And some of those cards sold for ridiculous amounts. Like they're like 1 cent cards, and they were selling in PSA 10 for over $300 Australian dollars. Like that's insane. That's insane. And I think you can see the same. I think you'll see similar stuff happen where people want to be collecting PSA 10 sets, and I think they'll be going after these cards. And the other thing is people want to be getting species. So species collectors will typically collect one species of Pokemon, and they'll have a binder of it, but they'll probably also want to collect them in a graded slab. So I think those two things together make it pretty popular, and I think more and more people will definitely be doing it in the future. So let me know, do you have any low value cards that you want to send to PSA, whether it be to collect, to flip them onto the market? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.